Alright, hello, welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. So, whoops, so I was looking at the videos from last time and I noticed that the music was really loud and you could barely hear me. So I believe I fixed that problem, and if not, I'm going to try to talk about it anyway, because I know I sort of get quieter during my videos, which is probably what's going to happen anyway. So right, last time we built some rescue craft, we launched our satellite, and it has begun to map Kerbin's Kethane deposits, and there's its progress. So, what we're going to do next is we're going to launch, or we're not going to launch necessarily, we're going to start building a bunch of rockets. We're going to build a satellite to go to the Mun and start scanning it, and we're going to build a satellite to go to Minmus and start scanning it, and then we're going to build a rocket to land on the Mun. Those are our next 3 missions. The first mission to the Mun will be so the very next one we're going to launch is probably going to be the Mun survey craft, assuming that... Oh, whoops, I think I had upgrade points. Yes, I did. Very good. Well, I think I'm going to put one more point into this, and one more point into building things faster. There you go, one build point per second. That is the fastest we have ever been able to build something. Right, so now, what we're going to do... I should probably put more points into building things, like, or not building things. I should put points into not building things, put points into getting more science for building things, because I'd rather just get more science. Because, I mean, I can just build things, I don't care. Okay, so we have these solid rocket boosters, which are my favorite. I love those. We also have, I believe, no, we don't have the mainsail yet, but that is coming. We have this engine. Yeah, we have a lot of engines. Or not a lot of engines, we have a lot of new stuff. We have the skipper engine, right, okay. So, now we have this Kethane storage thing, but we're not nearly ready to actually, like, start mining for Kethane. We're just going to launch some stuff. Right, so our rocket is going to be pretty similar to the one from before. So in fact, I'm going to load the Survey Launcher Mark 1 from before, and this time it's going to be Mark 2, and this one will be for getting to the Mun, because that's where we're going next. Right, so now I'm going to save this, and then we're going to take off this one, because we don't really want that, because I highly doubt that'll be enough. So we're going to put on this one, which is better. I tend to think that this will probably be enough, given that it's such a light payload and we have another engine up there and everything. This should probably be plenty to get it up to the Mun, and I would expect Minmus, although, I mean, I know Minmus is a little bit farther, and Minmus's gravity is also a lot weaker, so once you get there it takes a lot less to make your orbit polar and whatnot. So I'm thinking I might just build us 2 of these. How many of those things? Oh, I thought it said I had 8, and I was like, well, that's a rather lot, isn't it? Go. We have a lot of utility things. Right. Oxygen cans, water containers. Alright, so what we're going to do is we are going to save this. We're going to build one of these, and we're going to see if it can get to the Mun. Hopefully it can. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to start testing things for our Mun landing, because that is the mission going on after that. So I don't know if I'm going to give this any like special name, but for right now I'm just going to call it the Mun Lander Mark 1. And this is just going to be the lander component. It's not going to be anything else, because, I mean, you know, what space program doesn't test things before they launch them? And I know, simulate button, but I have also said I'm not going to use the simulate button, because I feel like that's kind of cheating. Although I guess space programs would probably simulate their stuff before building a test, but, you know, I mean, where's the fun in building something and having it not fail? I mean, there has to be like some process, right? I don't know. That's what I feel like anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a lander thing. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to add that or not, because I'm just going to have a parachute on there, because we would also like to come back. Right, so I don't know if I want to put this on here. I don't know if we need the reaction wheels on that necessarily, because it doesn't really seem like we will. Also, but we want to launch this with the RCS system. So this is obviously not how it's going to end up being, but the RCS isn't going to be that useful, I don't feel like, on let's say on Earth, well, not on Earth, on Kerbal. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to have like maybe this larger fuel tank, this thing here. I'm not going to put these reaction wheels on here, because we also want to fit some other science gear in here, like this thing, and then we also want to fit some mystery goo, like that, and this. Okay, and then below this we want to put a Oh, we also want to be able to detach this thing. And we want to make it more streamlined so it'll fit inside our fairings like we did before. So I'm thinking, as a preliminary sort of thing, we'll go with this, and then we want some batteries here, of course. I think I'm going to put 4 batteries on, sort of like I had the, or not 6, although Phil let me download. Okay, so I'm going to put 4 batteries on, like this, or perhaps not quite like that, because it wouldn't let me do that. Right. Okay, for some reason it will let me do that, which is a tad bizarre, but... okay. Actually, yeah, so I also want 2 more parachutes up here, right? Because we want to be able to be 100% certain that when we land, we're not going to destroy anything, right? So, let's see, what is this crash tolerance? That's pretty good. And I know the crash tolerance on the girder thing there is pretty good. So we also want a decoupler here, so that we can detach this part. I have a feeling that's not going to be enough fuel, right? Because, I mean, okay, if we were already in Mun orbit, that'd probably be plenty to take us back. Also, this thing's getting pretty tall, and I don't like it when my landers are tall, because it is detrimental to the success of the mission, as you might say. I think I'm just going to do a life support container, a normal-sized life support container down there. That should give us how many? It seems like it's a lot of stuff. We'll see just how much it is soon, but... What is it doing? Looks so weird. Alright, whatever. And then of course we are going to want some landing legs, and we're going to put some more batteries on here. I think we'll put 2 here, and then 2 here, because this is what I originally intended. Actually, maybe I can fit 6 on here if I do it like this. Okay, this is the kind of thing that I wanted to do originally, right? But the power part snapping it doesn't quite work like this. So this is what I want. That'll just be plenty of battery power. And the reason why I brought an entire life support container is because we're going to be up there for probably a little while. So naturally, I want to be sure I'm not going to die. Actually, I'm thinking, if that won't be very aerodynamic. Maybe do I have a tricoupler? No, I don't have a tricoupler. Oh yeah, I do. Okay. So, I know. It might be kind of silly for a lander, right? Because I was thinking if I put this like this, that'll be a really stable base. So even though it is a large landing rocket, sort of, it might still be worth doing. Or, to make it a little bit more streamlined, I'll put one of these on, because we want several, and then we're going to do like a tripod sort of thing with these, and use these as landing legs. I'm going to test this design out. I'm worried this won't fit inside a fairing, so I might just make it shorter. Oh no, because I just want these batteries and everything, and I want to be able to land more easily. So I'm going to go ahead and try this out. And we definitely want a heat shield, right? And we're just going to put like a pretty small SRB on the bottom of this to just launch it up, and then just see how it flies and everything. And we're going to test this rocket design out. This might be what I do, it might not be. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out. I always have trouble landing on the Mun, to be completely honest, because there's just all this gravity stuff and just messes with me. Yeah. Minimus landings are of course like the easiest thing you can do, but it's gonna be our Mun Lander Mark 1. I'm gonna start building this thing now. And then let's go check how long it's gonna take to ready either one of these rockets. I don't know really. So the surveying launcher should be that's a fairly straightforward thing. We're just gonna launch that thing into orbit, and then get it up to the Mun. I am pretty sure it's gonna work. Although, then again, we did accelerate a little bit quickly with the other thing, so I'm thinking we might want to change the launcher up. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about that, actually. Because even with the heavier payload, we still had to go quite quick for 52 days. Pretty fast for the second building thing. But anyway, so it took we got going pretty fast with the Mun flyby craft that we launched a couple episodes ago. So I'm thinking, since this thing is actually even lighter than the whatchamacallit, than the Mun flyby craft, I don't think I gave it an actual name, it might accelerate too quickly, because the other thing did get going pretty fast. Although it did survive, and I believe that's just kind of a testament to the aerodynamics and the fairings. I feel like if I didn't have the fairing on there, it probably would have just come apart during launch, which is nice, because, you know, that should happen sometimes. Anyway, this is gonna be to the Mun, assuming everything goes quick. Fuck. Gotta be kidding me. Got to be kidding me. Okay, that did not go as planned. That did not go to the Mun. I do not know what happened with those stages there, but it was clearly not what we wanted to do. I should have checked. Why didn't I check? Oh well, it just shouldn't take us too long to rebuild it, to be honest, because we're already gonna have one. You know, but well, at the very least, we got 4 signs. Yeah, because God, that's so stupid. Why did I have it like that? All right, that's actually what we want. That's what we want. This is what we want. So, well, it's only gonna take us 2 days now. Well, it should take us a little bit less, or a little bit more rather, because we're already building the other rocket. Although I guess the smaller building facility will be able to slowly work on it while we're waiting. So anyway, next thing to test will be the Mun lander. This one will be done pretty soon. It said 2 days. It'll probably be like maybe a day and 5 hours or so once we're done with the Mun lander test. So 2 days. All right. So that's another 4 science we got. I wonder how much science we have. 86. It's almost enough to unlock one of these 90 nodes, but we don't. Also, I wonder what we are researching. We're probably researching fuel systems, right? TAC fuel systems, yeah. Fuel systems we'll have done in 16 days. Basic exploration we'll have done in 16 days. Well, that's nice and all, but... Oh, yes, we want to recover the flight accuracy. Right. I thought I did, but well, I guess not. Right, so anyway... Oh, I probably didn't recover those boosters, because they were still okay, weren't they? It probably would take even less time to build it had I done that. Alright, so we're going to launch Sigric, because this is a pretty experimental thing, and we're just going to see how this goes. Yeah. So I'm very excited for 0.24, as I'm sure many people are, because, I mean, and I'll probably wait a little bit until all these mods get updated, because they do make it a lot better, but... Right, so we're going to launch up. Probably not going to go like tremendously high or anything. Also, of course, it'll be significantly more difficult to land here than it would have been on the Mun, but that is, of course, to be expected. Right, so I'm going to go check something here. Or not really checking something. I know what I'm doing. And hopefully, this will help me know exactly when to start decelerating. Right, so. Into the map here. Actually, I'm not going to go into the map here. I want to separate that, and I want to pause here because I want to know how much this thing, the mass of this thing. So I wrote this program that may or may not help me land. So what engine do I have on here? I have 3 of those. I don't even know what the thrust on those things is. Let's just probably look right away. This is 120 on each, so that means I have 360 kilonewtons of thrust, and then so now I just need to wait until we reach the top. I'm concerned. Okay, so we'll have 80 days of stuff. That should be more than enough. Okay, so I'm concerned that once we get up. Oh, and I can just put solar panels on here. Why don't I just put a couple of solar panels on here, and then we won't really have to worry about the whole energy thing very much. I'll just cover this thing in the way I feel like. All right. So this thing's just sort of going up, and I know we have the parachutes, but we're not. But ideally, we're not going to use them. Of course, it'll take a lot less fuel to land on the Mun than it will here. And the parachutes are included because, one, we're going to want them to get back to Earth. Or, God damn it, it's not Earth. We're not on Earth. So we can get back to, whatchamacallit, Kerbal. But also, in case, you know, some horrible things happen to them. I'm going to do some science while we're falling. Speaking of which, we are falling. Let me enter in some more numbers. 0.4, yes, alright. And we are at 14. Okay, so according to this, I should try and start decelerating it at 2,600 meters. I don't know if that's really a good idea, but I'm going to trust the program, because even if it doesn't work out, I'll still have my, okay. Although I have found the program tends to be more accurate if I do a couple recalculations every now and then, because it doesn't take everything into effect. So once we hit 10,000 meters, I'm going to do another quick calculation with it and just see what happens. So we're at about 10,000 now. Right, and then, let's see, gravity, engine thrust, velocity, Sorry, this is probably better done off camera, but I don't really feel like turning it off for 2 seconds. So, calculating it again, it says now we should burn at 3,500, which I believe is a more reasonable height to burn at. So we're just going to go with that, actually. Well, actually, I'm going to start burning at 4,000 because I don't know exactly how high above sea level Kerbal Space Command is, or Kerbal Space Command is, so I'm just going to go sooner rather than later. Although we do have the added benefit of air resistance here, which is something else that doesn't take into account, and we're actually slowing down ourselves. So maybe perhaps I'll actually going to slow down. Hopefully all those are playing. Actually, it'll probably be a little bit faster, so I should perhaps wait a little bit because it of course doesn't take air resistance into account because I've made it to like landing and such, which is not what we're doing. Right, so that's actually just starting faster than I thought it was going to. Of course, I'm sure air resistance has a large part to play in that. Right, so this, I mean, I'm sure it's possible to land on the Mun. The question isn't whether or not it's possible. I doubt this thing is going to have any fuel to land on the Mun and then come back. Another possible option is to include a Kethane drill on this thing and then mine ourselves some fuel. Yeah, that didn't quite work out, did it? Right then. I feel like this thing is a little bit too tall. We need to make it shorter, I think, and that should help. Maybe I will do the tri-coupler thing with the 3 LV909s. I mean, of course, this isn't perfect test platform, but it's the best I can really do without launching it all the way to the Mun, which I don't really want to do. So, we're going to go do a quick redesign of that Mun lander, see what we can fix. Presumably, we want to like land and not destroy our engines, especially if we want to get back. Or maybe I'll use Vestas, actually, because those are, well, of course, a lot more efficient than anything else that we have. So I'll use a tri-coupler here. Right, there's a tri-coupler. I could include one of these, but I don't think I'm going to. I mean, because I'd also need a bunch of other technology, and I would have had to do like a full survey of the moon to make sure I land the right spot and all that jazz. So I'm going to use these because I like how they look. That's pretty much the only reason. Then, I mean, I don't know, or no, Vestas, because they're more efficient, and they actually have more thrust. I mean, they're not much more efficient, but they do have a significant amount more thrust. I don't know. Oh, they also produce, like, electricity, and they have an engine that or better engine that therefore, probes and satellite launch vehicles. So you say. Alright. So we're also going to want to put some landing gear in here, and we're also going to do a quick test with the landing gear, because I don't know that this landing gear actually reaches down far enough. I suspect that it won't, actually, just looking at that. Let's see how low it is. That low. I don't know how much lower that is than the other thing. I'm going to just save this, and we're going to build one, and see how it goes. Of course, this is why we're testing things, so we don't figure out that it doesn't reach once we get to the moon, because that would be, you know, bad and stuff. I suspect it'll be able to land alright on its own, even without the landing gear, but it would be very nice to have the landing gear so that we will be able to land on it. Also, I want to check one thing in the research and development, because I know we're researching space exploration, but I don't recall which one that is. It is this one with the science lab, with this thing which I'm never going to use, the ladder, which is very nice, and the thermometer, which of course we will include on our Mun lander. See, this thing we don't want. So, yeah. Right. Oh, right. We also have plenty of science because of that one material study to start researching one of these things. We are already doing this, and we're researching this, so I think I'm going to do advanced flight control, or perhaps this advanced construction, because I would like to have some of these parts, like, these are better, much better stretch connectors, have these adapters, more radial decouplers, oh, also this fuel tank, which I very much like, oh, and these adapters. So we're going to go for this thing next, and then that will give us access to, I believe, alright, this stuff here, this thing here, this thing, I don't know if I'm really going to use this. We'll go, of course, do some science on the asteroids, but, or probably, I don't know. I believe after this one we'll get the next size of fairings, so this will probably be the next thing we go for. And then we'll do the rest of these things later. I would like to have heavy rocketry, because I do like the mainsails, of course, but I don't know. And the SRB nose cones, those are very nice. So at any rate, we will go ahead, warp until we have this thing completed, and then we're going to launch it and send it on its trajectory to the moon, and then we'll launch the Moonlander, because I don't imagine it'll take us 2 days to launch this thing. So there's another 2 science we just added to ourselves, because of course we did have to build most of that. We had to build those 2 SRBs on the side there. So, gotta make sure our staging is right this time, so we don't have the engines fall off again, or the first engines at least. Right. And if it would load. So I don't know what I'm really gonna do with the Mun, because to be honest, I don't really like the Mun. I like Minmus. It's like nice. It looks prettier than the Mun, and it's, you know, easier to go to. Oh, son of a. Well, I didn't really have time to check my staging, and that was. The trouble with using 2 is, of course, that you will start to let the thing might fall over like it just did. It was fine before, although I believe I don't know if I have researched or if I'm going to research those things so that I can just keep it upright, which I'm probably going to add to these subassembly. Eject these things. I think I'm going to start ejecting it for 20,000 meters because it seems safe enough. Though I'm glad I have those extra reaction walls in here. I don't think I could have stop this turnover if I didn't have. Alright, so let's go over to the actual navigation screen. Turn ourselves a little bit. Okay, we're getting pretty high here, so I'm just gonna be a little bit aggressive. Okay, so that's one of the things I don't like with SRBs is that I have to turn over much more aggressively than I would like to get into orbit, and I would, you know, of course, rather not have to turn over aggressively to get into orbit and just do it, you know, gradually, more fuel efficiently. But I would rather not also get the apoapsis too high. Okay, I hate to change directions like this, but right, we don't need that. Or we don't need that right now. The other one's passing right over us. Pretty much the same craft, except for the launcher, of course. So I feel we should be able to get there on this fuel, right? And then this fuel we will use to stop ourselves once we get there. And maybe if we have to use it for transit, I'd rather not, though, have to use this for transit. I guess if it's necessary. So we'll probably get into like a 80-kilometer orbit or so, and then we'll go from there to the moon. And the other thing is we're already in 2 days, so I don't imagine that will really be a huge issue in terms of like mission being flown at the exact same time. So where are we at right now? 63 kilometers. Okay, this is actually an issue. I'm gonna have to turn up because we're fast approaching the apoapsis, and we're not going fast enough, and we're not accelerating fast enough, which is a pretty big issue. I don't know if I'm going to turn down with that thing, actually, because we need the apoapsis to be at least 70. I'm going to go above it. And I know it's not really what you're supposed to do, but this was a little bit... This was a flawed launch from the beginning. It might have been a bad idea to even try to launch this thing. You know what? We might as well just turn on this Kethane detector, right? Because why not? Activate it. It'll start doing some scanning while we're going around there. I mean, you know, of course we don't need to, but I figure why not? Because we're here, we might as well scan it. It'll make the scan on the Kerbal go a little bit faster. Not that we actually need it to go faster, because we're not going to, you know, do anything. But okay, so this thing's just about high enough, I believe. It's at, yeah, it's at 68 kilometers, which we're almost that high. I don't really like how low this is going and how much fuel we're having to spend not moving directly forwards. Yeah, we're on the second fuel tank, although I believe this is significantly more efficient than last time. Okay, we're technically at a safe height, so I'm just going to turn all the way over now. It'll keep climbing a little bit here and there, or not here and there for the whole time, but I'll keep climbing a little bit as we go towards it, but I'm mostly concerned with going fast enough in the next 27 seconds to actually, you know, achieve orbital velocity. And hopefully we can increase its height to 80 kilometers. That is my target height still. I'm still going to go for that. We have a little bit over, or a little bit under half fuel this stage, the transfer stage, hopefully, and orbiting stage. But we're we're about 200 meters per second or so. I mean, I generally just generalize it as 2200 meters per second, but that's not quite right for this height. In terms of velocity. Alright, so we're starting to push it ahead a little bit, so I'm going to stop. And then once we get to probably to about 15 seconds, then we'll go again. Sadly, this launch was not quite as flawless as the others have been, but alas. I guess we probably could have taken off these parachutes. I don't know if how much that really would have saved us en masse, to be honest, or if it's even worth it. But right, so we're already generating plenty of power, I believe, from these solar panels, so we don't need to worry about generating power. Actually, I'm going to keep thrusting forwards a little bit because I know it's going forwards and stuff, and that is about safe. So I know I was super fuel inefficient, but technically that is a safe height now. So now we want to target the Mun. How much fuel do we have left? That's a fair amount, I guess. Alright, so I've got a feeling if we burn here, out, it's going to take a fair bit of fuel, but I'm pretty sure we can manage this. It's a little bit more than I would have liked, to be honest. Right, I want this to be as circular as possible, so I think if we burn a little bit farther than this, that, I feel like that's a little bit more circular than the other orbits we had. I'm going to see if we can perhaps circularize this anymore. Because I want to be far away from the Mun, right? Or not too far away, of course. So that's also another consideration, is we want to be close enough to the Mun. This works. So 30,000 is definitely close. I'm going to go farther away. I'm going to go aim for 70,000, that's fine, but I'd rather... I mean, every little bit, 109,000, that's good. Every little bit that we can be far away from the Mun will save us a little bit of fuel, right? So naturally, we want to be as far away as we can, while still being close. Okay, so I'm going to time accelerate. I don't, if this just starts to drain my battery too quickly, I will of course turn, but yeah, it's starting to drain pretty quickly. And we're getting a lot of good scanning in now. I'm concerned with how quickly this is draining my battery. I know it's because of time acceleration, but still. I'm curious why it doesn't do that when I'm doing the other thingamajigger. You know, when I'm actually... Oh shoot, I should have started way before now. Way before now. This has just been a bad launch altogether. Alright. So what happened yet? We're at like 82,000, right? Okay, I should have started like 30 seconds ago. I'm sure we're getting enough fuel to get there. Now I'm looking at everything. Of course, hopefully found working. There seems to be a pretty large deposit around this area, because we've got a few hexes in here. I don't know that we found any Kethane anywhere else. Yeah, well, we made like almost a full orbit, right? Or not orbit, almost. We were sort of close, so we did find some Kethane and help the scanning probe, which is currently scanning. This thing's going to be doing the exact same thing for its entire lifetime. I don't know that we're going to ever deorbit it. We might eventually deorbit it, or maybe we'll like fire a missile at it or something, you know, just for fun and stuff. Also have to slow it down there, which is kind of unfortunate, because it'd be nice if we could just reach the Mun and then be like, right, that's it. No more fuel needed. Alright, so I'm going to get rid of the maneuver now. Or not quite yet. I'm going to turn to basic correctly, and I'm going to get rid of it because I would like to sort of tune this myself, and I want to get it to the right height. That is not it. I need to turn around. Hopefully we'll get some more electricity everywhere. I was going to say we're going to get some more electricity while doing this because we of course want more electricity. So now we're facing about the right direction. We can slow down a bit. That's actually just fine. 127... 160,000. Okay, I guess I have to go the other direction. I believe this thing has a maximum range of 250 kilometers. I know it works at 100,000, so I'm going to aim for probably about 100,000. Because it works, and I'm going to do it. If it works. Right, so... Here we come. Alright, so... Where is... What draft is 70,000. You know what, that's fine. I'm just going to leave it there. I am, however, going to see if I can get this thing to face the sun, because that would be good. I feel like if we just leave it like this, that'll be fine. Or Why do I always turn so much? I should just turn it less and then it'll be fine. Alright. So, we're going to turn it like this, and I believe that should be sufficient, right? It'd be nice if we had those other solar panels that are like actually actively turned to face the sun, but I think we'll be fine doing this. You know, what could possibly go wrong with all that? Okay. So, here we go. I'm just going to face directly at the planet. That's about as good as we can do, I think. Turn off the SAS. And now, we're going to go back down to the Space Center. Because now we're done up here. Hopefully we don't run out of power on the way. I don't imagine that we will, but it is possible after all. So next, we have another Moon lander to test out. This one, I believe, will take us about 2 days to build. Yep. So, if we just do some... Don't tell me it ran out of electric charge. Okay, we really need better solar panels. Orbiting the Mun. Oh, shoot! I didn't realize it would take it so little time to get there. Hopefully it warned me, like, just before I ran out of electric charge and we still can do something about it. Please, 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 please. Yes, okay, wait, no. What do you mean? We have plenty of... Oh, no, it wasn't when they ran out of electric charge, it was that it, changed spheres of influence. I'm very glad it warned me about that, actually. Right. Good job. So, actually it doesn't matter if I'm warping walk 2 complete, because it'll just tell me when it finishes. That's actually a very nice feature. Okay. So we're generating some power right now, so that's good. And then we're gonna slow down once we hit the... Oh, that periapsis is a lot higher than it said it was gonna be. Dang liar. Okay. So we're gonna stop at the periapsis, because of course that's more efficient. Well, I guess we probably could have stopped before, since we need to lower both of them anyway. Right, so we're gonna generate ourselves some power doing this. And of course, also doing the thing that we need to do, which is circularize this a little bit. We want to bring the apoapsis down a lot, of course, because... Alright, now, this I'm going to bring this down to about 100,000. There is about 100,000 right there. And now, okay, we had more than enough fuel, I don't know why I was worried. Alright, now, okay, I know the thing is probably finished building by now, but that's okay, because I would like to just finish this, and then worry about the other thing. So we're 27 seconds to turn over. I mean, of course we have to work right on the periapsis, but I would like to. Right, so let's turn this. And now, we just go ahead, lower this down to about the right height. Until they flip almost. 606,000, 602,000. That's good. Okay. Now, we need to do another maneuver, which is, you know, the thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait until we hit the apoapsis. Right, and then we're going to burn like this. I think this is pretty much how you do it. I don't know if there's any more efficient way, to be honest.